Everything Raq worked for is falling apart, and this time it's not from her enemies, but from her own family. Kanan isn't just questioning her anymore. He's slipping away. And what Lulu does in this episode? It might be the final break that turns brother against sister. In episode 8, the mask is finally ripped off. What lies beneath is betrayal, regret, and the start of a war that might never end. Episode 8 picks up with heavy silence and cold stares. The storm is not just coming, it's already here. Kanan walks into the house, but it doesn't feel like home anymore. Raq watches him, trying to act calm, but her eyes say something else. There's a wall between them, one that keeps getting taller. After everything Kanan has learned about Detective Howard, about the secrets his mother has kept, it's clear he doesn't trust her. And Raq knows it. She can feel it. But instead of breaking the silence, she keeps playing her role, as if the truth hasn't cracked their bond. Lulu, meanwhile, is boiling inside. Since the failed hit and Crown's mess, he's been on edge. And now, after feeling pushed out of business decisions and constantly being reminded he's not in charge, he starts drinking more. His anger isn't loud, but it's deadly. He's pulling away from Raq, and you can see it in the way he talks to her. There's no respect, no softness, just cold distance. One line from Lulu hits hard. "I'm not your soldier." That's not just about the business. It's about family. He's tired of being used, tired of feeling like a pawn in her game. Back at Marvin's side, things are quieter, but no less tense. Marvin is watching everything fall apart and trying not to break. He's the only one who still wants peace in the family, but peace is not something anyone else is chasing. He sees the shift in Lulu. He sees Kanan keeping his distance, but he doesn't know what to do. Marvin is trying to be better, after anger management, after the broken relationships, but the more he tries, the more the world around him spins out of control. He sits alone in one scene, just breathing heavily. That moment shows us how close he is to giving up again. Kanan spends most of the episode walking around with a look that says it all: hurt, angry, lost. He talks to Famous, but even that friendship feels cold. Kanan isn't joking, laughing, or planning, he's thinking. Deeply. And when he finally sits down with Raq, the air turns heavy. She asks where he's been. He just says, "Out." She tries to explain herself, but Kanan cuts her off. "You lied to me, Ma. You made me shoot that man. You said he wasn't my father." The pain in his voice doesn't come from the lie, it comes from feeling like a puppet in her hands. And Raq, she doesn't cry. She doesn't shout. She just breathes in and nods. That moment hits hard because it shows something we've never seen before. She knows she's losing him, and for once she can't fix it with a plan. No gun, no threat, no deal. Just silence. But it's not just the family drama building. Outside, the streets are shifting too. Rival dealers smell weakness. They notice that the Thomas family is falling apart and they're moving in. One crew tries to test the corners again, and that creates tension with Unique's old people. There's no full war yet, but everyone's preparing for one. As the episode nears the middle, every single member of the Thomas family is walking alone, physically and emotionally. Kanan is angry, Lulu is numb, Marvin is tired, and Raq, for the first time in the series, she looks scared, not of enemies, but of her own son. And this is just the beginning. You think things can't get worse after Kanan calls out his mother? Think again. Because in this part of the episode, people stop talking and start making moves. The kind of moves that change everything. Raq knows she's losing control, so what does she do? She goes back to what she does best: power. She sets up a quiet meeting with one of the neighborhood lieutenants, someone who used to fear her. But now he doesn't seem so afraid. He's smiling too much, asking too many questions. Raq senses it. He's weighing his options. And that tells her one thing loud and clear. Her enemies smell blood in the water. So she does something unexpected. She offers him a deal: bigger cuts, more freedom. It's a smart move, but a desperate one too. Raq never gave power away before. That's how bad things have gotten. She's not building anymore. She's patching leaks, hoping the boat doesn't sink. Meanwhile, Marvin has a heart-to-heart with Jukebox. This scene, though short, is heavy. He tries to be the calm one, the voice of reason, asking her to stay away from the mess that's coming. But Jukebox just looks at him and says, "Too late." Her tone is cold, her face hard. She's not the scared little girl anymore. She's grown. And Marvin realizes he can't protect her, not from the streets, and not from the truth. Across town, Lulu makes a move of his own, and this one turns heads. He goes behind Raq's back and talks to a rival crew. Not to fight, to make a deal. At first, they laugh at him. "Ain't you the brother that's always cleaning up her mess?" one guy says. But Lulu doesn't blink. He offers them something they didn't expect. Info. He tells them where Raq's next shipment is coming from. The look on their faces changes. Now they're listening. And Lulu, he doesn't flinch. He's past loyalty. He wants out, and he's willing to burn bridges to do it. Back at the center of all this is Kanan. He's quiet, but he's thinking. Watching. He goes to see Detective Howard again, and this time he doesn't run. He asks questions. Real ones. "Did my mother send you to watch me? What do you really want from me?" Howard tries to act calm, but Kanan can see through it. There's something Howard's still hiding. Kanan walks away with a look that says he's finally starting to see the full picture, and he doesn't like it. And then comes the moment that changes the whole episode. Raq gets word that the shipment she arranged has been hit. Robbed, cleaned out, no money, no product. Just silence. She storms into her house, furious, demanding answers. No one says a word. Then Lulu walks in and says, "Maybe you should have seen it coming." Just like that. Cold. Distant. Raq stares at him, speechless. She knows. He didn't just walk away. He struck first. Now the balance has shifted. Raq is surrounded by cracks in her empire. Kanan doesn't trust her. Lulu is betraying her. Marvin is slipping into old habits. And the streets are waking up, hungry, for power. This isn't a fight anymore, it's a collapse in slow motion, and the scariest part? Everyone is watching, waiting to see who goes down first. It wasn't the streets that betrayed Raq. It wasn't even her enemies. It was blood, her own family. And the moment it happens, everything changes. Episode 8 doesn't just show betrayal, it builds to it step by step, until the knife is already in and the blood is already dripping. The episode reaches its most dangerous moment when Raq calls a late-night meeting. She brings in Marvin and Lulu, trying to act like the boss she once was. She lays out a new plan to recover the lost shipment, build new trust with street-level soldiers, and regain the territory slipping from their hands. She talks fast, focused, sharp, like the Raq from season 1. But something's off. Lulu doesn't look her in the eyes. Marvin barely nods. The silence in the room is louder than her voice. And then, in front of everyone, Lulu says something that freezes. "I'm not doing this with you anymore. I'm done being your weapon." Raq's face doesn't move, but her heart does. She asks what he means. He doesn't raise his voice, but the words hit like gunshots. "You killed my music. You killed my spirit. And now you're killing the family." Raq tries to keep control. She reminds him what they've built. But Lulu cuts in again. "You didn't build this. You just took it and told us it was ours. That's it. That's the moment. The betrayal isn't loud. It's final." Lulu walks out, and Raq realizes she no longer commands fear. Not in her home. Not in her family. But that's not the only betrayal. In the background, Kanan has been putting things together. Piece by piece. Detective Howard, his mother's, lies, the setup with Buck 20, even the shooting that started it all. And now he's got proof. Kanan finds a hidden photo, a young Raq with a man who clearly isn't Howard, a man with the same eyes as Kanan. He realizes something more than a name was kept from him. His mother didn't just lie about who his father was, she erased a whole piece of his history. On purpose. That's when Kanan does something bold. He leaves, not to cool off, not to think. He leaves to cut ties. He packs a bag, puts on his coat, and leaves a note behind. Don't come find me. You already lost me. Meanwhile, Marvin is caught in the middle. He tries to stop Lulu before he burns the bridge completely. He begs him to wait, to think, to talk to Raq again. But Lulu has made up his mind. And Marvin? He's torn. One brother walking out, one sister holding the pieces, and him stuck between them, still trying to be better while everything he loves breaks in front of him. But betrayal doesn't just stay inside the family. It echoes in the streets. Word spreads fast that Raq's operation was hit. Rivals know. Something is wrong. Old enemies see her weakness. And when one of her corner boys is shot in a surprise attack, everyone knows. Raq is no longer untouchable. By the end of this section, the game board has changed. Kanan has walked away. Lulu has turned his back. The streets are heating up. Raq stands in her living room alone, surrounded by silence and shadows. For the first time, it's clear. Power is no longer hers to hold. It's slipping fast, and whoever grabs it next may not show any mercy. Sometimes the loudest scene is the one with no sound at all. That's how episode 8 ends. Not with gunfire, not with yelling, but with silence that feels like thunder. The final moments of this episode don't just end a chapter. They prepare us for a war no one is ready for. Raq sits alone in her dark kitchen. No soldiers, no phones ringing, no deals being made. Just her and the quiet. Her face doesn't cry, but you can see everything breaking inside her. Her hands shake slightly as she lights a cigarette, a habit she had kicked. That little detail says everything. She's slipping back into old ways, maybe even old fears. For the first time, we're seeing a version of Raq that's not in control, not planning, just surviving. But then, a knock at the door. She stands up fast, eyes alert. She grabs her gun from under the table and walks slowly toward the door. The camera holds on her face, hard, tired, and ready for anything. She opens it. It's Jukebox. She looks rough. Her hoodie is bloody. She doesn't say a word. Just walks in and sits down. Raq looks at her and asks, "What happened?" But Jukebox doesn't answer. Instead, she pulls out something from her pocket, a small badge. A cop's badge. That's when the twist hits. Jukebox was in the middle of a fight with a local officer who was threatening Famous. She tried to stop it. Things went bad. Really bad. And now, a cop is down, and Jukebox is involved. Raq stares at the badge like she's staring at a time bomb. This one moment changes everything. Raq doesn't just have family problems and street problems anymore. Now she's got police heat that could ruin her, especially if it leads back to Kanan or her past. And the look Jukebox gives her says it all. You're the only one who can fix this. But how do you fix something when the ground under you is already breaking? At the same time, Kanan is shown in a distant neighborhood alone. He's not in his room. Not in his city. He's sitting on a bench with nothing but a backpack. The streetlights shine over him as he stares at his phone, not calling anyone. Not even Famous. Not his mother. He's truly on his own now. He meets with an older man we haven't seen before. This man looks rough, tired but familiar. When Kanan says, "You knew my father, didn't you?" The man nods. That's the final punch of the episode. Kanan is digging deeper, searching for a truth his mother buried long ago. And if he finds it, it could destroy every single lie Raq ever told. The episode ends with Raq holding the cop badge, Jukebox crying quietly in the corner, Lulu drinking alone in his studio with his gun on the table, and Kanan stepping into a dark alley with the man from his past. No words, just raw emotion. No one trusts anyone anymore. No one is safe anymore. And in the silence of the final scene, we know exactly what's coming next. A war of truth. A war of blood. A war that starts from within.